KBLACountyRelief.com.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is king.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
So let's go back to our What It Is and What It Isn't series. Today we're going to take on future faking. Welcome back to our series on different important topics in narcissism and what they are and what they're not. Today we're going to talk about what is and what isn't future faking, right? Future faking is such a common pattern in narcissistic relationships and a really important one to understand. It entails making promises to change, promises about future events or future wants that the other person, you, in the relationship wants, with the goal of the narcissistic person keeping the relationship together or getting whatever they want from the other person in the relationship or getting what they want now. So, for example, if you were in a relationship with a narcissistic person, you said you want to get married and have children, and the other person said no, then you may end the relationship, right? But if the person said yes, but not for at least 2 years after I finish this or that, you may stay in the relationship on the basis of that promise. So then the 2 years will pass, and then the marriage and children will never happen because they decide to put it off again. They never really wanted it in the first place, but they wanted to keep you around. Let's say they want to spend some money now on something they want. They'll make you a deal that, I don't know, if they don't make their investment back in 6 months, then they'll give up this venture. But in those 6 months, then the money may be gone. Future faking may be made on the basis of time. In 3 years, we're going to do this. On 6 months, that we're going to do that. In a year, X or Y is going to happen. Or on the basis of, or after a certain event happens. Once I finish school, once I make partner, once this difficult time at work is done, once I retire. Future faking is also plausible. While in some cases future faking may be grandiose, we're going to live in a 20-bedroom house and have a jet, but there's really no clear path forward to that. In most cases, the future faking is believable. We're going to get a house. I'm going to go into therapy. We're going to give everyone an extra 3 days of vacation time this month, or this year, if you can do extra work for less money now. Ultimately, future faking gets the future faker something now. You stay, you work for less money or no money, you do something they want you to do, you have sex with them, you loan them money. And future faking also keeps us stuck. If someone promises something plausible, we care about the person. We want to believe in them, we want to believe them, and we ourselves may be invested in a certain outcome with them. We may believe the fake. And when future faking happens early on, we don't know it's future faking. We just hear a promise and we want to believe that it's true. So we go with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, back in the building. You know Thursday is my Friday. Back in the building live at KBLA Talk 1580 from the heart of Leimert Park. You know what that is. Hey, man, this little Africa town in Los Angeles, man. Let's get it. You already know tonight's topic is a doozy. But you know, I'm not just going to go clinical. I'm going to go psychological. I'm going to go philosophical. And whenever I'm dealing with philosophy, you know, right? You know, whenever I'm doing, I got to talk about Krishnamurti, man. My brother, yo brother, Krishna G. Listen to this. Listen to Krishnamurti. You heard Dr. Ramani in the clip. Listen to Krishnamurti. The primary cause of disorder in ourselves is the seeking of reality promised by another. Ooh, Krishnamurti slaps us and gives us no reprieve. The primary cause of disorder in ourselves is the seeking of reality promised by another. J. Krishnamurti. You heard Ramani. The narcissist will future fake you in order to get something now. Lord have mercy. Future faking are unlimited promises, the unspoken culprit of many failed relationships. Oh, tonight's topic, 1-800-920-1580. This is a non-judgmental space. I want you to call in. 1-800-920-1580. Call in. We have to have a conversation about this. Have you ever felt future faked? When the great Jiddu Krishnamurti said the primary cause of disorder in ourselves is the seeking of reality promised by another, he was referring to the idea that seeking truth or enlightenment through external sources or authorities can lead to inner confusion and conflict. According to Krishnamurti, relying on others to provide us with the answers to life's questions can prevent us from truly understanding ourselves and finding our own truth. He believed that each individual had the capacity to discover truth and find inner clarity without depending on external authorities or belief systems. Krishnamurti emphasized the importance of self-inquiry and direct observation of one's own thoughts, emotions, and experiences as the path to self-understanding, freedom, and freedom from mental disorder. Listen to this. You can take exactly what Krishnamurti is saying He's talking about authority. Sometimes we make the narcissist an authority in our life, which is why we fall for the future faking. I've got questions. Can the repetitive act of breaking promises in relationship also plant and nurture the seeds of entitlement and resentment within our significant other? 1-800-920-1580. In other words, you always break your promises, right? So now, because you broke your promise, I get to pull the victimhood card. I get to pull the entitlement card. I'm definitely going to be resentful. Because somebody call me right now. 1-800-920-1580. Is it, in fact, our unhealed wounds that desperately need promises to be fulfilled? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is the psychology behind broken promises? Are promises necessary for a healthy relationship? Should they even be made in the first place? What is an example of a future faking relationship? Are broken promises merely lies? Are some avoidant attachment styles prone to break promises? Why do narcissists break promises? How do broken promises affect relationships? True or false? Narcissists will fake a future to create the illusion of high investment, strong interest, or deep emotional ties. Call me. 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, the voice of reason shall cook it up for you.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy holidays from the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. DCBA is spreading the warmth this season with the Los Angeles County Rent Relief Program. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is available to landlords with unpaid rent expenses in Los Angeles County, excluding the city of LA. If you are a landlord with unpaid rent, you could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. Tenants with unpaid rent are also welcome to refer their landlords to apply for this program. To learn more about the program or to apply, visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is administered by the County of Los Angeles through its Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. www.lacountyrentrelief.com.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know you You want some more? More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, I've never been one to knock the next man for getting his, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I do realize that hip-hop is now a form of showbiz. But this has always been something with which you have to be true. So in the year of 1992, now this is how we do. At the age of 19, heard the scene. A lot of MCs that do not come clean. Frontin' on dealing hard times and rhymes. You see them in the streets and you see no signs of the hell. And they get on stage and tell some old cornball war story. Ring the bell. Word. You're faking the funk. Talking that extra hard junk, you're probably a punk. And I'ma let you know that this way you just don't cut with the artificial flow. Nick Dick, exotic, break backs and necks. When fakers try to front, they'll get smoked like blunts. My rhymes penetrate like skunk. And your word up, I think they're faking the funk. You're faking the funk.
You're faking the funk.
Yo, you're faking the funk.
You're faking the funk.
Yo, you're faking the funk. Yo, you're faking the funk. Yo, you're faking the funk. Yo, you're faking the funk.
Were you promised an amazing future by the person that you were with, only to find out that it never materialized? It never happened. You had all these different things lined up, this different future, this idea, these thoughts, these places, these things you wanted to do, to go, all these different things, and it never happened. Maybe inside the relationship, when you tried to hold the toxic person in your life accountable, then it was always followed up by, oh, this is what I was going to do, or this is where I was going to go, or this is what we're going to do, but it never happened. Maybe you're wondering why some narcissists make these grandiose commitments, but they never follow through. And like, what does this actually look like? Is this just narcissism? Is this ADHD and they're just forgetting? Like, what is actually going on? I want you to follow me today as we explore the concept of future faking, talk through some of the aspects of recognizing the red flags associated with this manipulative tactic. But before we do, if you guys haven't understood or know who I am, just to be perfectly clear and frank, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel providing awareness about narcissistic abuse. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations and your guide in the 45-day Clarity Challenge that you can access at claritychallenge.net. Helping you understand how narcissists distort your reality. One of those is future faking. We go into that and we dive into that into the course much more in depth, but also helping you break free of the mindset, the trauma bond, the rumination, the intrusive thoughts, the limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in the fog of being in a toxic relationship with a toxic person. So we're going to dive in today looking at the aspect of future faking. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, rate, review. If you're listening on the podcast, thanks so much. We're trying to help show more and more people. So if this connects with you, share it with someone else who it might connect with as well. What is future faking? Okay, future faking, first and foremost, is a manipulative technique used by toxic people, used by narcissists to create a false sense of hope and excitement about a future together. Now, this is this idea of painting a picture that seems perfect without actually following through to make that happen. Now, sometimes this could be complete fantasy of like, I'm painting you a picture of a reality that I never want, that is never going to happen, and that I'll never have the resource to actually do. There's that piece. Then there's also the aspect of just painting a reality that's out there so that we don't have to, so we can avoid what's actually going on here. This is where a narcissist comes in. They make elaborate promises, talking about future plans, talking about this blissful life together, all with the intention of gaining trust, emotional investment from the other person. This happens in a lot of toxic narcissistic relationships because you have to buy the dream. You have to buy the outcome. You have to buy the idea that they're selling you. This whole concept of what happens in these narcissistic relationships and future faking is the same thing that I would do in those affairs. Of being like, oh, we'll be together. Oh, can you imagine this life? Oh, wouldn't this be amazing? I've never felt this way before. You're the best person ever. All these things, pumping up the person and selling a lifestyle of what's going to be down the road, without ever the intention of making it happen. Because in my mind, I couldn't actually do that because I couldn't break up with my wife. I couldn't get divorced with my wife because if I did that, then I'd look like a bad person. That started to shatter when she left. But this whole concept here of
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard of future faking? Just constantly breaking promises. Now, everybody is not a narcissist. But I want to push the envelope here tonight before I get to the phone caller. I see you, Sean. We're going to get to you. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. My question is, are promises kind of like ideological or psychological, the psychological layaway, right? I'm supposed to do something. I know I'm supposed to do something, but I'm going to make you a promise to do something that I should be doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who make promises to get out of the moment of accountability. I promise I'll change. Well, how can you promise to change? You either observe this person doing the work. Sometimes I can just say, I promise to change. And then the person who hears that may think, oh, well, that's enough. No, I need to observe you doing what needs to be done. Sometimes a promise is like, we can put this action on layaway. Promises are often seen as a sacred bond, an agreement between individuals that carry with it a sense of trust and reliability. However, when these promises are broken, the consequences can be far-reaching and deeply damaging. On tonight's show, we will explore the concept of broken promises from a psychological, philosophical, and socially adroit perspective, delving into the nuances of this issue and providing insights into the path of healing and transformation. One of the fundamental questions we must ask is whether a promise is merely an ideological loan to do something that may not need to be put off. Promises are often made with good intentions, but they can also be a way to postpone action or avoid taking responsibility. By examining the underlying motivations behind promises, we can gain a deeper understanding of their potential impact. When individuals experience broken promises, their self-esteem can be deeply affected. The sense of betrayal and disappointment can leave them questioning their worth and or value. That's self-worth and or value. Rebuilding self-esteem after such an experience requires a process of self-reflection, self-compassion, and self-care. By acknowledging their own worth and focusing on personal growth. Listen, how many times a broken promise has laid you low, has made you just feel like you weren't worth nothing? Can unfulfilled promises lead to feelings of betrayal and resentment? We're going to ask our first caller tonight, who just joined. Get in here, Mr. Sean from Oakland, California.
Hey, Brother Zoe. First off, Happy New Year. We're going to make this a good year, people. So I got to say that. I want to send love out there for the new year. You just got to make it happen. Look forward. Don't look in the past. But that has something to do with your topic, because what's the very sensitive line between promises and a lie, right? Because if you are making promises to someone in a relationship, I'll just break it down like, man, woman, whatever, people that want to be together, loving each other, and all of that. Making promises, that I won't cuss, your ass can't keep, that's a lie, right? You're just doing that because, look, Zoe, sex is the most powerful instrument on the face of planet Earth between human beings. And let's not, argue about it. It just is, and it is. It's a natural thing. But some people will lie to make sure they keep that going. There's a difference between a really, deep relationship where that's also involved, but you're making a promise like, let me give you an example. This is the one we had. Look, I don't care who you go out with. I don't care who you see. There's no physical sexual relationship. And then you comes to acceptance or trust, like you've said in the past. That is a promise, right? That's a promise that makes people at ease. You know, but if you say, oh, I'm going to make $1 billion, or we're going to do this or that or the other thing, you know, that isn't going to come true. And then when it doesn't come true, right, that becomes a lie. So that's my thing, the guiding line between a lie and a promise.
You know what's interesting, Sean, what you just said? Your thoughts put me in the mind of parenthood. You know what I told myself? I told myself, never promise your children anything.
Yes.
Because you're a parent. I said, never promise your kids anything. I always say, if you're going to do something, just do it. Do not promise them anything. Just show up.
That's right.
Right?
You got to be present. You got to be present. I think that's beautiful, brother. I mean, that's the thing, because then you allow the child to explore on their own. You allow your relationship partner, if it's a relationship, to explore on their own and make the relationship greater. It's the same thing. It's hard to do. That's a hard decision because you want to tell them what to do, and you think that's going to work out. I get it. I've been there. You want to tell them, do this, do that, and it'll all work out. But the fact is, they got to get out there, your relationships too, not just your kids, and experience things and learn for themselves. It's true. It's true. And I'm so proud. Your son, you must be the proudest dad. You know, you have your older son that I see on social media and stuff. You know, he's hooping, doing his business thing. He's doing his thing. You know, that's the other thing. Never tell somebody, you know, you ought to change what you're doing and do something else. You know, let people do what they want to do and take it as far as they can. If they're living a decent life.
Wait, Sean.
Sean, yes, sir.
Stay with me. Stay with me. When we come forward. Sean is telling y'all the truth right now. But what I want Sean to focus on when we come forward, flip it to intimate relationships. If it works for kids, will it work for your significant other?
Over the same stink beats, cause times are real, and I can't feel putting down on the real. Now I'ma let you know, what those freestyle raps, it's time to go. I eject, rejects that step. I'm a vet ready to snap your neck. I shine and rise.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Police have confirmed a 6th grade student is dead after an active shooter event at an Iowa high school. It happened during the first day back for students at Perry High School, which is around 40 miles northwest of Des Moines. There are also a handful of gunshot victims who are in the hospital. The 17-year-old shooter, who was a student there, took his own life and also left behind an explosive device that was defused. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds said their hearts are heavy and gave her condolences. The president of the Salt Lake branch of the NAACP is running for the State House of Representatives. Longtime civil rights activist Janetta Williams filed to run to represent House District 26. Williams, who is black, is challenging Republican Representative Matt McPherson. State House District 26 is considered one of the most competitive seats in Utah. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Happy holidays from the LA County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. The LA County Rent Relief Program assists landlords with unpaid rent expenses in LA County, not including the city of LA. Landlords could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. To learn more or to apply, visit lacountyrelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, pursuing justice through participatory democracy. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for an exclusive forum featuring the candidates for LA County District Attorney. Join KBLA's Tavis Smiley as he helps navigate what promises to be a forum full of fire when the candidates trying to unseat current LADA George Gascon come together on stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just had a fight with my woman over something trivial told. We rarely have confrontation, and if the I said really was bold, I think she get it from my mama. Her bitterness passed down from old. When I'm calling out her drama, she too defensive to listen. I'll call so. Look at me, I got problems. You got the type of advice that I need. I couldn't get through on the mention Siri. Dana was holding up the time that I need. Between working or being so clingy. Plus the time zone difference don't make it no easy. Oh, so I figured I'd call in early. Turn my life down, mercy, I got through. You tuned in, yeah. The show. So just lay back your mind. Someday new. Everybody tuning in to soul. Cause he is reason, yeah.
So let's go on and take on this idea of future faking. When someone says they will call you later, you expect that they will. Maybe a few times they may not follow up with the call, but perhaps for perfectly good reasons. They might say something like, I fell asleep, or I got distracted with work. How many times, though, does it need to happen before you recognize that they simply are kind of messing with you, that they probably aren't going to call you back? Future faking is often much more sinister than not calling you back later. It's actually a form of manipulation and of keeping you hooked in by making the kinds of future promises you want to hear. For example, this may include wanting to have a family with you someday. And perhaps they might say things about wanting to get married someday, and buy a house together someday, and travel the world together someday. It may be that they're going to support you in starting a business together someday. They set the tone for the life you want, for the life you envision, and for the things that you hope for. And they use future faking, though, for very different and much more manipulative purposes. Future fakers reassure you. They tell you about the income potential that they're going to have one day, or that they're making more than enough money to take care of both of you. In that way, future fakers can often coax a partner to leave a job or move to another place, even another country, just to be with the narcissist. And then they tell you they'll take care of everything financially and take care of you so you can pursue your dreams. If we know only one thing, it's that one of the main things that can often keep people stuck in narcissistic relationships is financial dependency. And once that narcissist renders you financially dependent on him or her, they are able to exert far more psychological control. And that's even going to be more pronounced if you move to a part of the country you're not from, or...
Lord have mercy, have you been pump faked in your relationship? Tonight's topic is a heater. Future faking? Now, in the hood, we say you just running game. You just playing games, right? Let me just say this. Can you really believe anyone? Listen, you hear me talk about it all the time. We works in progress. People are struggling to look into the darkness of themselves. What makes you think their word is bond? I hear people, the word is bond. Stand on it. This is my word. I can't say what I... Listen, you just as messed up as I am. You might be a little further ahead in society, but you just as messed up as I am. You know what bothers me? You know it's a future fake to me? I'm going to say it's a now fake. I meet all these people, they be like, oh, I hate a liar. But they be lying. Future faking, man, is crazy. Can you distinguish between genuine remorse and empty apologies? And you're going to have to learn how to do that because that's essential in the process of healing. Genuine remorse is accompanied by a sincere effort, you heard me say this earlier, to change a behavior and make amends. Empty apologies, on the other hand, future faking, lack the commitment to meaningful change. By developing discernment and trusting one's own judgment, individuals can navigate the complexities of forgiveness and healing. Future faking! Sean, get in here and finish your final thought. Make it about relationships for me.
Well, I'm going to do that, and you mentioned, the way you communicate with your children. Now, you don't need to have had children to understand this, all right? You can understand your cousins, your family that have children. You were a child at some point. You had a mother. The communication is giving you a foundation if you're good parents, or at least, parents that are there every day trying to do the best they can. And what they're trying to tell you is, life is full of, challenges. Life is full of, it may end up crisis at some certain point. You're going to have to take it easy on one another if you want a relationship to happen. But that is, when you're making false promises, all you do is put stress on yourself, and you create negative, what I call negative, energy in the relationship. And then you always have to try to fight to, make it something that it's never going to be.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm saying,
Let me ask you a
yes,
question,
sir.
Sean. Have you ever defaulted on a promise?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we all have. If we're honest with ourselves, we have all made some sort of promise that didn't go right. It didn't go the way and that's how I learned. And that's how I learned. Because, and it wasn't a huge, I didn't do any of these ridiculous ones like I want to be a billionaire or anything like that. But I made a few that, I thought I was going to be able to handle and make it happen, and it didn't work out. So, yeah, you have to be honest with you. That's life. But you got to pick someone, know that person's with you, that you're communicating with them. I didn't promise the world to them, and they didn't promise the world to me. They made mistakes too. But just try not to make ridiculous promises that go way above and beyond anything, that are not achievable, because I never want anyone to go under their, goals. Go and get it.
Sean, no, go ahead.
Yes,
finish that final thought for me.
That's it.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say.
All right. So, Sean, guess what you just did, my brother?
Well, Oakland is in the house, and I love you, and Happy New Year, everybody.
We love you too, Sean. For real, for real, for real. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. The protocol is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, we got South Central, we got Dallas, Texas, and somebody's calling right now.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
I tried to quit smoking cigarettes probably hundreds of times over the years. 2 or 3 days into quitting again, I go get into a vehicle, and guess what? There's a pack of cigarettes in there. I mean, I've got the unlit cigarette in my hand, and I said to myself, why do I even try to quit if I'm going to cave so easily every time? Something clicked in my head that told me I can do this.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dog child. Big rock. Let's go.
Why don't you return my calls? Why you trip out where I be? You don't ever come to see me. You say that you're too busy. What the hell? I don't have time. Why you messing with my mind? I can find another guy, someone who will treat me right. I don't need this bullshit. I won't put up with it any longer. You can go if you want. I don't need your pity. I will be just fine if you decide that you want to leave. Close the door behind you. I just want to know what about all of the things that you said?
Ladies and gentlemen. Woo, Lord. Yo. It's out of control up in here. My playlist is my co-host. Y'all know what I do up in here. The VOR, that's Brandy, a.k.a. Moesha, M to the O to, I'm sorry. Great record tonight. We on fire. We got callers on the line. People want to talk about broken promises. Hey, I don't have a problem, talking to you guys about it. Tonight's topic is future faking. New concept to me are unfulfilled promises, the unspoken culprit of many failed relationships. And I wanted to mix in the work of Jiddu Krishnamurti, of course, my favorite philosopher, should be yours by now as much as I mention him. His quote, "The primary cause of disorder in ourselves is the seeking of a reality promised by another." J. Krishnamurti, very heavy quote. I want to get your thoughts on it. Have you broken promises in your relationships, and have promises been broken to you? And I want to know how it made you feel, how it affected you. We've got JW. He's been on the longest, South Central. Get in here.
Hey, my brother.
Brother.
How you doing?
I'm
Happy
good.
New Year to you.
Same to you, brother.
Yeah, okay, now, in reference to broken promises and how it makes you feel, you made a valuable point on one of the other shows a couple of nights ago in terms of it's a lesson that should be learned. And everything is internal, and no one should really let external reality influence them in the first place. Then, if they're emotionally immature or gullible or, over-eyes or just, any other term that, that will fit the script in terms of being naive,
Mm-hmm.
then you may have an anger problem behind it because you feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I stated, that's external. And my point of view is, and I always had this point of view for years, I wouldn't care what a person feel or think about me because they don't put a roof on my head or clothes on my back or money in my pocket or food in my stomach. So I value myself, and if you devalue me, that's your issue. But once upon a time, I used to wear my feelings on my sleeve, and that's an old person's or old folks' expression. It's not been familiar with. But with growth and knowledge, you realize that, hey, everything's a life lesson, and it was intentional. And this to finish my point that I didn't get a chance to finish last night. All things work together for the good for those who are called for God's glory and purpose. And I'm paraphrasing that. So it could be yin, yang, good, bad, positive, negative, or whatever, because it's duality. You follow my point?
No, I got you, brother. I'm right with you.
Yeah. So it's all about a growth system, and like I always state, school's in session.
I got you, brother.
You gotta graduate from elementary and into being emotionally mature and spiritually mature. Because that's the point I was trying to make last night. If you're in the spirit, you can't be influenced, or you won't be influenced by external forces because that's secular and that's of the world. So and that's something I'm trying to learn how to do because I'm trying to, what's the word? Turn my pain into power.
Right.
Or turn my reality, into something that's positive and God serving a purpose that His will be done. So
I got you,
that's
brother.
just a growth thing. So yeah,
Well, guess what you just did, JW? JW, I got to keep it pushing now. Guess what you just did?
But South Central in the house.
Yeah, South Central's in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, get in here. Share your thoughts on this national conversation. We're talking about future faking. I never heard of it. Romney broke it down perfectly. Hey, is my brother Truemonger on the line? He must be feeling better. Dallas, Texas. Truemonger, get in here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Talk to me, good brother.
Oh, man. I think future faking is just another term for it. It's been around. You call it fronting, fantasizing, and whatnot. Yeah, it's a problem because, especially if you're in a relationship, it's like your partner's trying to force you to lie to them, or to just to get you to do something that they want you to do, and hold it over your head if you don't come through for it. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's part of the whole fantasy-minded stuff. I don't know. If you say you're going to do something, do your best to do it. If for some reason it don't go through, just let them know, hey, it didn't go through. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to do it, but it didn't come through on this particular day. And some people get offended by that. Because I've been in relationships where I told my partner I don't make promises. Either I get it done or I don't. If for some reason I don't, I'm going to let you know why.
But you do know what a promise is, right? A promise is a vow, right? So when people are getting married and they're exchanging their vows, they're making promises to each other. Let me ask you a question. Do vowels, right? Are vows, not vowels, but vows, right? And promises, are they necessary for relationships? If one is healed spiritually, does he have to promise to be who he is? Does he have to promise to do certain things? If he's healed. I think broken people make promises because they can't deliver in the moment. What are your thoughts?
They shouldn't have to. They should just be. And they should give each other enough grace to realize that they're both flawed. And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to fall short. That's going to happen on a daily basis, whether they admit it or not. But people would like to have that fantasy in their head that, like, once we say these things, it's gonna be exactly as we say it. And it's not gonna go that it's not gonna go that way because life is gonna get in your way.
Wait, Truemonger, but now you just validated the purpose of a promise. If broken people use promises because they are broken, because they can't deliver in the moment, then promises have a place. Promise might be a part of grace. I can't do it right now, but if you give me some time, isn't that interesting? Talk to me about that.
Only promise I would say that will be valid is to do your best to be your best self every day that you're around each other, or just be your best self every day, period, whether you stay together or not. That would be the only valid promise to me. Because that's, to a degree, that's within your control. Everything outside that is not within your control. So you shouldn't get yourselves caught up in that. But unfortunately, a lot of people are conditioned to get caught up in that. And they try to force that on their partners, knowing they can't live up to it. You don't need that extra pressure in life. Life is going to give you enough as it is.
Should we be living up to any kind of standard that we'd have to promise in order to achieve? Like, why do we have to live up to something? Why can't we just be as we are and continue to grow?
If we didn't create those standards ourselves and we go on based on someone else's standards and ideals that they don't live by, but they'll sell it to you as if you need to live by it. It's like this: if you two didn't put the script together yourselves, I wouldn't be concerned with anybody's ideals or standards. Develop your own.
Heavy. Truemonger, guess what you just did, my brother?
Brought D-Town in the building.
D-Town up in here, Dallas, Texas. If you want to bring your city, you know the protocol. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from Texas. We got God Melanin, Houston, Texas. We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. We all over the nation. I want to know how many promises you broke and how many promises you fixed. That's heavy. You broke the promise, but did you ever get back to fixing it? When we come forward, more heat.
Your words have no weight with me, 'cause you're counterfeit. I see. I don't need this bullshit. I won't put up with it any longer. You can go if you want. I don't need your pity. I will be just finding you decide that you want to leave. Close the door behind you.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Police have confirmed a 6th grade student is dead